Honestly, when the Hatsui wasn't there yet.
Hello and welcome to Your Dad Learns StarCraft 2. This is Protoss vs Zerg, where I defend against Void Rays. My lower left-hand corner opponent, playing Protoss, Ragnarok, ends up rushing Void Rays. And this is just kind of how I defended against it. So we're going through my view. We're going on 2 times the speed. And I'm doing the usual build that I do. At this point, this game's a little bit back at the beginning of the season. 2018 season 3. So I make a hatch, make a gas, then make a pool. And I rally my drones to... I start rallying drones to the gas, so that when the geyser comes up, I will have 3 drones there. See? And, yeah, that's what's going on right now. My opponent's building their tech. And I spent... You see, I haven't really looked out that far. And that's because I had my first Overlord searching for proxies. And my second one doing the same. And really, I should send my first Overlord across. The second one could probably find proxies easy enough. But here comes their probe. As soon as my pool comes up, you know, standard thing. I make the 4 Zerglings. I actually make 6 of them. So that I have some to scout, some to play defense with. You know, if I want to be a little aggressive, I can. But make the Zerglings, make the Queens. And just working on my my injects, making some more Queens, 2 more of them. And making a Roach Warren. Making some Overlords, have Zergling speed going. Don't want to get blocked. And I see they don't have a natural going yet. So get a free probe. Go back to make sure I'm not falling back on my macro. Or falling out of it. Stack my inject so I have a little bit of about a 30-second breathing room where I don't have to worry about injecting. Start making my 3rd base, and I want to go see what they're doing. Which I don't. I don't see anything that can and kills my Zerglings before I can get there. And at this point, it's 4.5 minutes in. I should have a Spore Crawler in each base. But I'm not there. I'm building up some stuff, and now I'm getting attacked by those Spore Crawlers. Or not Spore Crawlers, by those Void Rays. There's 3 of them. So what I do is I just, all my ground units, they can't hit air anyway. The Void Rays would just be killing them. So I back my guys up. As soon as I saw the Void Rays, I made 2 Spore Crawlers in my main base. And I A-move my army across the map. That way, while they're attacking me, hopefully I'm distracting them by attacking them. And look, their guys are just sitting there. That's because they're probably watching their base. And they're watching me throw Zerglings and Roaches into their base. And they're not microing their army in my base. They're still not attacking. I've got 3 spores up now. And I'm just mining in that base. And there they go to attack me. And I mess up there. I could transfuse my queen. But, and look, their guy goes there. I just draw aggro, and I pull him back. Now, they don't micro him away from the spores, so they're just staring at their base some more. So that counterattack did a lot for me. Like, they could have done a lot more damage. Of course, probably would have took a lot more damage for my counterattack they may have. But they could have done a lot more damage if they just A-moved their guys a little further. Like around my drone line. Or try to take out my natural base instead of trying to get to my main. Instead, I killed their natural. I'm about to kill their natural a 2nd time. Actually, I don't think they had one the 1st time. But while that's happening, I made a Hydralisk Den. I made a bunch of Roaches, taking out this cannon. And they actually have to bring Void Rays back to deal with this attack. And now that they're on the back foot, now they're defending against my attacks, and I have Hydralisks being made, this game's basically over. I need to move some of those drones back down. But this is basically over because Hydras are very good against Void Rays. I've knocked them down onto 1 base against the 2 base economy. So as long as I manage to just keep doing what I'm doing and keep some pressure up. Well, this thing, I don't have to keep pressure up. I could just macro and out macro them. But I could also just apply pressure and try to stop them from getting anywhere now. Which is what I do. I keep applying pressure. I'm making Zerglings now because they can get to my Hydras in time. If I made more Roaches or Hydras, it would take forever for them to get across. Look at this. Those Hydras kill a cannon while they're getting hit by Void Rays. And then kill 3 Void Rays. They kill 3 Void Rays. And a cannon. And a probe. Hydras just kill Void Rays really well in number. And all I did was just send my Lings over. I meant to micro them past those buildings, but... Oh, that Nexus is actually very low. But I just send them past, keep hitting their economy, keep hitting their probes. I'm on 3 bases, making some spores in case they counterattack. And now I just aim move their base again. Probably aim move outside of their base, I hope. But yeah, so my guys will gather there. I'm just going to keep running in. So they went for attack all in with Void Rays, and it didn't work. And it didn't work most because I made queens. I macroed, and even though the stuff that I macroed and built didn't exactly counter them, if they all in you like that, what are they going to have to defend with at their base? Nothing. They're not going to have much. And that's what happened. I counterattacked with the units I did have, which was a group of Lings and a handful of Roaches. It was enough to keep them off of getting a second base, stop them from expanding behind their attack, and start putting pressure on them. And then I was able to hold my base. They didn't try to take this out. It would have been more difficult if they tried to take my expansion out. But yeah, I just held them off. Made the queens. If I was smarter, well, I guess I'm smarter, but if I was more versed in this stuff, I would have had spore crawlers down before they showed up. At least at these 2 bases already. Which would have meant that they would have got 1 base from me and then kind of been stuck. If I had a spore like around here and here, they can't really get an attack angle in. And I had 4 queens. But yeah, that's a little Void Ray rush that happened to me. That's the way I defended, even though I wasn't being optimal. I had queens, and even if you're not ultra prepared for their attack, if you're prepared for something, like I made some units early-ish just for defense. I couldn't defend with them, but I could go aggressive. And that counterattack is enough to at least keep things even, while I'm trying to macro up and keep making queens to defend, make spores, that type of thing. It's enough to keep you guys even, and in this case, it distracted them enough that they weren't attacking things for a good amount of time, and I was able to drag one of their guys into my spore crawlers. And by that point, as long as I just made units and sent them across, just zoomed them across the map, they had to bring Void Rays home to deal with them, which gave me enough time to get Hydralisks, which destroy Void Rays. And once I had Hydras out, they didn't switch tech or anything. They kept trying to do the Void Ray thing in cannons, and it just wouldn't work. My Roaches killed out the cannons early, and the Hydralisks, Void Rays aren't going to kill a bunch of Hydralisks. It's just not going to happen. So, I hope you may have learned something like that. It's not an optimal defense, because I didn't have the Spore Crawlers, but it's also not the worst. I made enough queens, and queens are a very good early defensive unit, especially in lower leagues, because they're tanky, they can hit air, they can hit ground, you know, they're good. And I counterattacked. I didn't panic and let my units sit here while I tried to defend their Void Rays. I counterattacked, hoping that I could deal enough damage that they would back off. And they did, which let me keep making production, which let me just send Roaches their way and just kind of batter them down. So, hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, any of that type of stuff. It's all appreciated, it's all good. If you didn't enjoy it, you can hit that dislike button that's down there as well. Leave some constructive criticism, whatever you want to do. And, till the next video, I've been your dad. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time.